Hey guys, welcome to our August Garden Live. I'm out here on a brisk morning with Phil from Garden Centre. Phil, how are you?
Good morning. It is a bit chilly, isn't it?
It is. But the last few days it's actually been a little bit warm.
I mean, yes, absolutely.
Warm
the
up.
afternoons have been perfect. So I think, you don't want to call it too early, but it feels a bit springish, doesn't it?
Yeah. I've seen the sun a couple of times the past few days, so it's a good sign.
Yeah, I've had the jacket off. so you know it must be getting warmer.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we've got a big weekend across the Stratcos across the country, but particularly in SA, because we got 25% off plants this weekend for our Super Saturday sale.
Super Saturday, can you believe? Another Super Saturday, yeah.
It's rolled around.
25% off plants, all plants, off the regular mark price.
Yeah, and you're well stocked, I believe. I've seen a lot of greenery out here.
You can see behind us more trolleys of plants coming in, so if we're not quite stocked yet, there's more to come.
Yeah, beautiful. So guys, Super Saturday sale on the weekend at all the Stratco stores open across the state. 25% off plants is the key. So get down to your local Stratco Garden Centre, shop around. They've all going to be loaded with plants. The other one is 20% off pots to go along with that.
The pot plant combo, it's an absolute winner for us.
Yeah, but it's a good time. If you need to start thinking about spring, you haven't got anything for your garden yet, it's a great time. Pick up some plants, pick up some pots. It's Saturday only on those offers. So we're open on Sunday at Stratco, Jeps Cross and St Mary's, but you can only get 25% off plants and 20% off pots on Saturday. A couple of other key offers we're going to have in store on the day. 20% off outdoor kitchens, that starts on Friday, ends Sunday as well. So that one's a flash sale. Got to get in, get your quote. Fantastic time to look at an outdoor kitchen. And the big key call out is that we'll have it installed for you before Christmas. So
and I mean, the displays in store, if you haven't seen one of the kitchens, come in, have a look at them at least. I mean, they're amazing. It's not just like a barbecue up against the wall anymore. They're crazy good. No,
it makes you want one every time you look at one. Very jealous. 20% off gable garages, 15% off ambient blinds. We've also got up to $1,000 Stratco gift voucher back when you purchase an Outback DIY patio as well. So we'll have our design set counters manned on the Saturday and Sunday with the stores that are open. You can come in, get a quote, and save up to $1,000 cash back on a Stratco gift card as well. Other offers we've got on the moment: 10% off Handypod garden sheds, 30% off selected decorative screens, 40% off selected garden beds, and Stratco, St Mary's and Jeps Cross have a DeWalt tool clearance as well. Too many offers for me to remember, so I'll have to read them off my sheet here. But it's a massive weekend. Come on down. The stores are going to be jam-packed with specials for you to take advantage of, so come down and shop around. Now, Phil, getting into our gardens, we're starting to see a little shift in the weather. Spring is on its way.
Absolutely. I mean, in Chris's garden notes, he's sort of touched on, spring weather's on its way, and it's time to prep. But, we're still in August, so there's still a few Augusty type jobs to get done. But having those really nice afternoons is really starting to kick plants along. Just this week, I've had so many people coming in talking about the deciduous fruit trees starting to pop their buds. What do you do? So it's the perfect time to make sure that we protect them from leaf curl. So you've got this window now of about 4 or 5 weeks where you'd want to spray them with something like some copper or some pest or white oil type products, just to try and make sure that you stop as much of the leaf curl as you possibly can.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm sure we've got all those. All those
kind of products are in the store. And if you're not sure, like you say, we've got enough staff on that come up, ask you questions. We can show you what we think is the best product for your tree.
Yeah,
and we can go through it all.
Yeah, great. And I think with winter ending, spring on its way, it's starting to think about vegetable time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the crazy thing is we're sort of stuck in that window now where you've probably really missed your opportunity for planting your winter veggies. And I know that Chris has turned around and said in his notes it's too early to put your sort of spring summer crops in. I guess I'd say the only clause I put in that is that with the garden beds that you mentioned that are on sale this weekend, Stratco Garden Saver one, we now have like a little greenhouse cover that goes over the top of it. if you happen to have bought one of those, you've got the greenhouse cover over the top that protects the plants from the weather, then you could get a bit of an early start on. You could get your tomatoes, your strawberries, probably still a bit early for your capsicums and chilies, but you can certainly get some of the plants started. For that reason, we've already got some tomatoes in store, and you'd be able to see those this weekend if you come through. Strawberries as well. I mean, you can see the size on those guys. I mean, they're already starting to get quite large. So, you can get a jump on it. But if it is sort of planting into the garden without those covers, I'd probably say just be a bit more careful. But perfect time to sort of prepare the areas ready to go.
Yeah, and Chris touched on preparing those areas. I think he mentioned manure, compost, and all that kind of stuff. Getting them ready, prepped now, and that'll help them kick along.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really just about sort of adding a bit more nutrients in, opening the soil profile up. I mean, it depends on sort of the type of veggie garden that you've got. It's always a great idea to sort of rotate between different areas of your garden, so you're never overcropping one particular area. So, if you do happen to have sort of some winter veggies up and cropping now, but you've got another spot ready for your summer crops, get some manures in, get the soil turned over. It's great to try and get some more moisture through the soil. All these things will just prepare it so that, when you choose to start planting, it's just a matter of, heading into your nursery, picking up some fresh plants, getting them in and sort of bedding them in, feeding them, and off you go.
Yeah, sounds great. And sounds like we've got plenty to do, especially with these warmer afternoons. We can start getting back out in the garden and people don't have to be so cold while they're doing it.
I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, sort of by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's been really pleasant, and like I said, no jackets required, which I guess is even a sort of an indicator to be thinking ahead. And with some warmer days, you'll have to reassess how you water your plants. And I think Chris even alluded to that in talking about irrigation systems.
Yes, we did, and I noted that mine needs a good look at before spring and summer runs around.
That. So with that, I mean, you probably don't need them to be fully functional right now, but it's the time to be looking to see if they're working properly. I mean, because during winter you probably don't use them as much as you probably could. Things like ants tend to get in and block up all the drippers and things like that. You just want to give it a good flush out. Make sure that if you've done any gardening through the winter, that you haven't accidentally put a spade through the pipe or whatever it is. I mean, accidents happen. You can be sort of raking some mulch away and you pull some irrigation off or something like that. So put it on, run it for half an hour. See where the water's sort of pooling and stuff like that. Make a decision if you have to change anything, fix anything. Get it all up and running.
Yep. Yeah, I got a weekend of that coming up, unfortunately.
Well, it should be nice. I mean, they're saying something like 19, 20 degrees on the weekend.
Yeah.
Perfect to get out to do it.
It'll be nice to have the sun on the weekend rather than the sun during the week, which will be nice. So, talking about fruit trees as well, you touched on them a little bit earlier, but sounds like Chris has said it's time to start looking at them, getting them prepped for spring and onwards as well.
Absolutely, and all the way through winter, and even now going into spring, we've had really good supplies. Just in recent weeks, like things like persimmons have sort of shot onto the list. So we've bought up in that area as well. Citrus trees, we've carried reasonable levels, but you will see those sorts of things now starting to build up. Now that we feel like there's a change in the season. We'll make sure that the nurseries are fuller than they've been through winter. Yeah,
great. And 25% off plants, don't forget, this weekend, Saturday only. So, and then looking forward to next month. What can we expect? Obviously, winter's finishing, it's over, and spring's coming in. Weather's probably going to heat up a little bit more.
I guess the reluctance to call it spring has just been the last 2 years. I mean, we've seen these cycles where we've had a bit of this teasing spring weather leading into September, and then all of a sudden it's changed back to winter, and we've seen sort of cooler, wetter conditions sort of go through to December. So it's almost a play it by ear type situation. We're starting to get a bit nervous to turn around and say, yes, it's going to be 25 degrees and warm all the way through to Christmas. But if it is a traditional spring where you've got some warmer days, a little bit of rain around the place, you know, what you'd expect to see would be your petunias going in. You know, once again, we've got petunias already in store, but you know, you'll start to plant them in a big way. And you know, I guess the beauty with that is that things like pansies, I guess they're known to be a winter flowering annual, but to be honest, you probably get some of your best displays in pansies through spring.
Okay.
So there's no rush to sort of pull them out to put your petunias in. It's just a matter of, you know, gauging sort of when they're finishing their flowering run and when you want to sort of get your petunias in. So you could certainly do that. So petunias will be coming through. You know, your tomato plants, like I say, are already around, but you'd want to sort of be moving towards those. Strawberries, to be honest with you, I've seen chilies and capsicums on the list already, but that's probably a step too far.
Yep. So they'll be coming soon.
Yeah, I reckon you'd probably September. You'd start to be thinking that sort of, you know, change to summer vegetables.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's covers us off mostly for the garden. Obviously, like I said, there's lots of greenery out here, and all the other garden centres have got plenty going on as well. And I'm sure you guys are just going to expect more and more of this as spring rolls around, more plants rocking up.
Yeah, there's definitely been a shift in more customers coming through the door, more people looking at gardens and asking questions. I would guess that will start to ramp up, you know, with the weather on the weekend being so good.
Yep. Time to get out in your gardens. I know I've neglected the lawn a little bit and other things like that, so it's time for, with the weather shifting, time to get back out there and start taking care of it a little bit better for spring and onwards. So, and again, guys, talking of plants, 25% off plants on Saturday this weekend at your Stratco garden centres, along with 20% off pots at all our stores, 20% off outdoor kitchens, 15% off ambient blinds, up to $1,000 Stratco gift card voucher back when you purchase Outback DIY patio. So come in store, we'll have our design counters manned. You can get a design on outdoor kitchens, patios, gable garages, which are also 20% off. So there's going to be lots happening in store, lots of specials, lots of savings. And I think you might see Phil down here if you come down.
On Saturday, yeah, absolutely, I'll be here.
That's it, and he can help you design up your garden. You can ask him a million questions and make his day as busy as possible.
Maybe not a million questions.
And Phil, next week you get to watch your Liverpool back in action as well. The Premier League's back.
Absolutely, I'm expecting a winning start to the season.
That's it. All right, thank you guys. We'll catch you next time at our next Garden Live in September.
Yeah, see you in spring.
Yes, see you then, guys.